So in our final example, we are looking at, as we have with our other conic sections, how we can find the equation of a conic section having been given some features about its graph. So in this case, we're given the equation of a parabola, or we want to find the equation of the parabola that has a focus at 0, 4 and a directrix at y equals -2. So just as for the other figures that we did this type of work for, we're going to go ahead and sketch those objects and see if we can start to identify which type of parabola equation we're going to be filling in the blanks on. So on our coordinate plane with a focus at 0, 4 and a directrix at y equals -2, that puts our focus up here, so that's at 0, 4, and our directrix is down at y equals -2. So already that tells us a few things. Number one, because we've got a horizontal line for the directrix, we are going to be looking at a parabola that's going to be opening in the vertical direction. So loosely speaking, we've got a parabola that's going to look something like this. I'm going to take that away so it's not distracting us, but that's what our parabola looks like. So that means it's the x that is squared. So I'm going to write down that parabola equation. X minus h squared equals 4 times p times y minus k. So we know that much. We know we're dealing with a parabola that's opening in the vertical direction. We actually also know that our parabola opens upwards, since the focus is always on the inside of the curve and the directrix is always outside of the curve. And we also know that the focus, or the vertex of the parabola, is always halfway in between the focus and the directrix. So this distance right here is 6 units. So that means the distance from the focus to the vertex, or from the directrix to the vertex, is going to be 3 units. So that means our vertex is right here. So that's our focus up there. So that means our vertex, we can see the coordinates of that point are 0, 1. So I can start to slot these numbers into our equation. So I've got x minus, whoops, let's try that again. We've got an x coordinate of 0 for the vertex, and so that means h is going to be replaced with 0. So we're really just ending up with x squared over here equals 4 times p, and some of you may have already figured out what p is, but we'll get to that in just a second. And then the y coordinate of the vertex is 1, so y minus 1. And so that is the last thing that we need to figure out, is what's the value of p. So recall that p is the distance from the vertex to the focus. And so since we're traveling up 3 units to get to the focus from the directrix, that means that p equals 3. And so I'm going to take that and just plug that into my equation. That's the last thing I need to do. And so we've got an equation of x squared equals 4 times 3 is 12 times y minus 1. And so that is the equation of our parabola.